अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स। होप यू ऑल आर फाइन। स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम बायो क्लास 11 चैप्टर नंबर 11 रिप्रोडक्शन पढ़ेंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। The ability of organism to produce new offspring of its own type is called reproduction। यानी कि organism की ability कि वो अपने जैसे offspring प्रोड्यूस करे, इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? रिप्रोडक्शन। It is unique characteristic of life as it is not essential for survival of individual unlike other characteristics of life. It is, however, required for survival of species. Without reproduction, the species will cease to exist if all of the members of present generation have died. नेक्स्ट है बच्चों हमारे पास रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम ऑफ ह्यूमंस। Human reproduction need internal fertilization. The reproductive system is unique in two respects. Firstly, the fact that it does not become functional until it is turned on at puberty. In contrast, all other body systems are functional at birth or shortly thereafter. Secondly, the organ system of body exhibit slight differences while the reproductive system is quite different. So first of all हमारे पास है male reproductive system. The main function of male reproductive system is to produce and maintain sperms. Structure of male reproductive system. The male reproductive system includes gonads, accessory ducts, epididymis, ductus deferens, ejaculatory duct, and urethra. Accessory glands, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, bulbourethral glands. फर्स्ट आ जाते हैं हमारे पास gonads. The testes are male gonads which are situated outside abdomen within a skin pouch called scrotum. Each is divided into 250 to 300 lobules. Each lobule contains 1 to 4 tightly coiled seminiferous tubules. Next is accessory ducts. Once spermatozoa are produced, they move through the seminiferous tubules and enter a tubular network called rete for further maturation. The spermatozoa are transported out of the test by a series of afferent ductules. The epididymis is coiled on the outer surface. The epididymis functions in the transport and storage. ये अगर आप साइड पे देखें तो फिगर 11.1 ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम शो किया हुआ है। ये नीचे देखिए फिगर 11.2 एनाटॉमी ऑफ गोनाड्स। ठीक है, epididymis opens into another duct called vas deferens which join the duct of seminal vesicle to form short ejaculatory duct. Here ejaculatory duct enters prostate gland, then it empties into urethra. Urethra is also called urinogenital duct as it carries urine as well. Next is accessory glands. A pair of seminal vesicles is located at junction of sperm duct and ejaculatory duct. The prostate gland encircles the urethra just below bladder. A pair of bulbourethral gland is situated at junction of ejaculatory duct and urethra. Next हमारे पास function. The function of male reproductive system in human reproduction is production of sperm, which is also called spermatogenesis. नीचे देखिए बच्चों, आपको एक फिगर शो होगी, फिगर 11.1.2 हार्मोनल कंट्रोल। इसमें अगर आप देखें क्रॉस सेक्शन ऑफ सेमिनिफेरस ट्यूब्यूल्स शो किया हुआ है। हमारे पास सबसे पहले स्पर्मेटोजेनियस स्टेम सेल है, माइटोटिक डिवीजन से हमारे पास स्पर्मेटोगोनियम बन गया, फिर फर्दर माइटोटिक डिवीजन से हमारे पास प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट बन गया, फिर मियासिस 1 से सेकेंडरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट बन गया, फिर मियासिस 2 से हमारे पास स्पर्मेटिड्स बन गए, ठीक है, और फिर डिफरेंशिएशन होगी। नीचे देखिए, अगर आपको एक फिगर नजर आ रही है, फिगर 11.4, हार्मोन्स कंट्रोल प्रोडक्शन इन अ नेगेटिव फीडबैक सिस्टम। तो अगर हम इसको देखें तो हमारे पास सबसे पहले क्या है, हाइपोथैलेमस है, देन एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी पिट्यूटरी है, ये जो हमारे ग्लैंड्स हैं, ठीक है। तो कह रहे हैं ये जो प्रोडक्शन ये कंट्रोल कर रहे थे थ्रू नेगेटिव फीडबैक सिस्टम। हार्मोन्स आर chemical messengers made by glands in human body. These are carried through blood to act on other organs. Hormones are for growth, reproduction, and well-being. The human reproductive cycles are controlled by hormones from hypothalamus and anterior pituitary. At the onset of puberty, for the process of spermatogenesis, the hypothalamus sends a gonadotrophin-releasing hormone GnRH to anterior pituitary. This causes the release of follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH) and luteinizing hormone (LH) from anterior pituitary. यह आप देखिए साइड पे फिगर 11.5 में आपको क्या नजर आ रहा है, सेक्शन ऑफ सेमिनिफेरियस टब्यूल्स, ठीक है। इसमें देखिए सर्टोली सेल्स हैं, ये आपको जो मिड में नजर आ रहे हैं, और साइड पे क्या है हमारे पास मेटगोनियल सेल्स, और नीचे देखिए लीडिंग सेल्स, ठीक है। At onset of puberty, the hypothalamus causes release of FSH and LH. FSH क्या है हमारे पास, follicle stimulating hormone, LH है हमारे पास luteinizing hormone. Each of these system for the first time, FSH enters as stimulate the Sertoli cells to begin facilitating spermatogenesis using negative feedback. LH enters and stimulates interstitial cells of Leydig Leydig cells है, ठीक है, to make and release testosterone and the blood. The hormone is responsible for secondary characteristics that stimulate spermatogenesis. Secondary characteristics include a deepening of voice, growth of facial, axillary, etc. Next है बच्चों हमारे पास negative feedback system. It occurs with the rising level of testosterone. It acts on hypothalamus and anterior pituitary to inhibit the release of GnRH, FSH, and LH. The Sertoli cells produce the hormone inhibin, which is released in blood. This inhibits the release of GnRH and FSH, which will cause spermatogenesis to slow down. If the count reaches 20 million per ml, the Sertoli cell sees the release of inhibin and count increases again. Next है हमारे पास बच्चों female reproductive system. The reproductive role of is far more complex than that of a male. She not only has produced gametes, but her body must be prepared to nurture a developed embryo for a period of approximately 9 months. Next time I have a structure. It consists of gonads, a pair of ovaries, oviduct, and uterus. First of all, gonads. Ovaries are gonads which produce ova and release hormone. A pair of ovaries are present on the side of uterus. Each ovary is held in place with peritoneal cavity by several ligaments. These are solid ovoid structures, measure about 3 to 5 cm long and 2 to 3 cm wide. Within the ovary are many tiny scale-like many cyclic structures called ovarian follicle, each of which consists of immature egg called oocyte. In that one of the ripening follicle ejects its oocyte from ovary each birth. This event is called ovulation. After ovulation, the rupture follicle is transformed into a glandular structure called corpus luteum. ये नीचे देखिए आपको फिगर 11.6 पे फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम शो है. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास ओविडक्ट और फलोपियन ट्यूब. The oviducts from the initial part of female duct system. They receive the ovulated oocyte and are site where fertilization generally occurs. Each oviduct is about 10 cm long and transform developing ovum from ovary towards the uterus. The oocyte is carried toward the uterus. Next हमारे पास uterus. It is a hollow muscular organ shaped somewhat like an inverted pear. It has three portions: fundus, body, and cervix. The oviduct joins uterus just below fundus, and opening of cervix leads to ejaculation. The wall of uterus is composed of three layers: perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. Perimetrium is outermost thick covering layer of uterus. Myometrium is middle thick muscular layer composed of bundle of smooth muscle, and endometrium is in inner spongy lining of uterine cavity. If fertilization occurs, the embryo is implanted in endometrium and resides there for the rest of its development. The main function of uterus are to receive, retain, and nourish a fertilized ovum. Cervix is an air interest to uterus. It is normally blocked by plug of mucus, and their function is the organs are responsible for production of egg oogenesis, which is also called oogenesis, and fertilization and development of embryo. Next है female reproductive cycle and its hormonal regulation. The female reproductive system undergoes cyclic events. Therefore, the sequence of all reproductive events is called reproductive cycle or menstrual cycle. The female reproductive cycle primarily divided into two phases. अच्छा इसकी दो main phases हैं, ovarian cycle and uterine cycle. Ovarian cycle includes those events that occur in ovaries, and uterine cycle include those events that occur in uterus. The events of ovarian cycle are very well coordinated with event of uterine cycle by hormones called gonadotropins. Based upon changes in hormone regulation, the cycle can be divided into three phases: menstrual phase, proliferative phase, and secretry phase. ये नीचे देखें, ये एक्स्ट्रा रीडिंग मटेरियल दिया हुआ है oogenesis. तो ये क्या है, ये आप देख सकते हैं कि सबसे पहले हमारे पास क्या है, oogonia में जो क्या है डिप्लॉइड है, माइटोसिस हुई, तो उस हमारे पास पहले उससे हमारे पास प्राइमरी oocyte बनेगा, वो भी डिप्लॉइड है. प्राइमरी oocyte में मियासिस होगी तो हमारे पास क्या बनेगा, सेकेंडरी oocyte और फर्स्ट पोलर बॉडी, उसमें अगेन मियासिस होगी तो हमारे पास क्या बनेगा, सेकंड पोलर बॉडी एंड जाइगोट. ठीक है, तो ये आपको जो प्रोसेस है इसका oogenesis का भी पता होना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट इज menstrual phase, day 1 to 5. In this phase, the usually shed all but the deepest part of endometrium. The thick hormone-dependent functional layer of endometrium detached from uterine wall, a process that is accompanied for 3 to 5 days. The detached tissue, and at the beginning of this stage, ovarian hormones are at their lowest normal levels, and gonadotropins are beginning to rise. Then FSH level begins to rise. Beside with the K figure 11.7 section through a human over showing stages of reproductive cycle. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट हमारे पास प्रोलिफरेटिव और प्री एवोल्यूशनरी फेज. Through the influence of rise in follicle stimulating hormone FSH, a few ovarian follicles are stimulated. These follicles compete with each other for dominance. As a result, all but one of these follicles stop to grow and finally disintegrate. Follicle atresia. While one dominant follicle in ovary continue to mature and become mature follicle, Graafian follicle, in which oogenesis occurs. FSH also stimulate the Graafian follicle to secrete estrogen, which in turn governs the scleralization of endometrial lining of uterine wall. Consequently, the endometrium once again becomes thick and well vascularized. Normally, cervical mucus stick and sticky, but rising estrogen levels cause it to become crystalline, forming channels that facilitate passage of to uterus. Estrogen has negative feedback upon FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Therefore, as the concentration of estrogen rises to the level of FSH, the level of FSH falls, यानी decrease हो जाएगा. This is a signal for anterior pituitary to release LH at the end of proliferative stage. In response to sudden release of LH from anterior pituitary, the egg from the mature follicle is released into oviduct. Event is known as ovulation, which takes less than 5 minutes. LH also convert follicle to a yellowish glandular mass called corpus luteum. ये देखिए नीचे हमें एक फिगर है फिगर 11.9 फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव साइकिल तो ये आप ये देख सकते हैं ठीक है पहले ओवेरियन साइकिल मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल एंड नेक्स्ट है हमारे पास secretary or post-ovulatory phase. During this phase, the endometrium prepares for implantation of embryo. Rising level of progesterone from corpus luteum act on estrogen primed endometrium, causing arteries to elaborate and converting functional layer to granular secretory layer. The glands enlarge, coil, and begin secreting nutritious glycogen. These nutrients sustain embryo until it has implanted in the blood-rich endometrial lining. If fertilization has occurred, the corpus luteum begins to degenerate toward the end of secretory phase as LH blood level decline, progesterone level fall, depriving endometrium of hormonal support, and endometrial cells die, setting the stage to begin on T28. In human beings, the menstrual cycle is around TH and termed as menopause. Cyclic menstruation is an indicator of normal reproductive life and extend between menarche and menopause. So हमारे टॉपिक कंप्लीट हो चुका है चैप्टर भी कंप्लीट हो चुका है होपफुली आपको समझ आ गया होगा इफ एनी डाउट यू कैन आस्क इन कमेंट सेक्शन प्लीज लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब माय यूट्यूब चैनल थैंक यू